Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Mumsy from CZT Sandy Bartholomew. Now, this one has been around for a while. I like to mix it up and make sure I'm going back and finding some ones I've seen around for a while and maybe haven't played with for one reason or another, or just haven't shared them here. I like having that mix. All right, this one if I remember right, it's the very first step that I went. Ah! So, but now that I have grown over the years in my tangled journey, uh, it's all right. So, and I like how Sandy says in her blog, it starts with a simple squiggle center, and I like that. I should have read that years ago. It still would have. I still would have went, yeah, but there's got to be a right or a wrong way to do this, and I'm sorry, I just can't handle it. And I did come up with some alternate things that I'm like, no, let's just do it the way she says. It's not. It's okay. So if you have that challenge, let me give you hope that and put it in the comments, because then I know I'm not alone in this what I'll call silliness. All right, so it is just a simple squiggle, and in my mind, here's how I work through it. So I'm starting, and I'm going to try to draw it bigger than I think. So starting with a simple C-shaped curve line, and it's really just some S's, and I'm just trying to. It's like an amoeba, and my aim, oh, look at that, is to have it meet all at the same place. Uh, does it always happen? No. And actually, oh, let's see. Okay, no, I was watching what I was doing, and I wasn't watching the screen. I try to peek up every so often, but I was afraid to. So I hope that you saw that. And I'll re-go over it with my pen, just because if I've had this challenge, and I know from talking to the people, my fellow Tangle addicts that are on our weekly Tangle Time calls, and just in our Facebook group, that I'm not alone. So again, I just started thinking, okay, C shape, and then kind of going into an S, or you could think C shape going up, C shape going down. Try not to say that 5 times fast. C shape ish going up and then down and up. And so there's ways that we can do some mental gymnastics to allow our brain to just, okay, it's okay, it's all right. It's kind of like, well, sometimes drawing a star is like, oh, okay, if I can get that so it looks right. The nice thing about Zentangle, and forgive my being on a soapbox for a moment, the nice thing about Zentangle is we work towards the let's not worry about it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And there are all of these kind of mantras that I say to myself all the time, and others do. And so my goal is to help everyone that wants to have more fun with Zentangle, and that's my goal here. All right. So once you have your squiggle, and I will also say, I don't think it's going to matter how many times you go up and down. So if you only have 4, don't worry about it. If you have 6, or you have some other shape that maybe isn't, I'm impressed that mine was kind of well defined here. Either way, don't worry about it. Hopefully you have some peaks and some valleys, because the next step, we're just going to draw some bigger C-shaped curve lines. And so what I found is and in looking at, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see. She put a little decoration on the inside early, and I didn't notice that. I put mine in towards the end. All right, because apparently I didn't look close enough. I was focused on other things apparently. So seeing where like this little V here, and depending on how yours are, we're just gonna make like that a curve line. It it doesn't matter kind of where it starts. I just like having it almost as a continuation of that V. And so I'm going to come around, I'm going to do those. And no worries about how long they are, size, shape, whatever. This is inspired, I'm sure, by some kind of flower. If you read the blog, and I had to read it because I was trying to find where Mumsy came from, but I think she had Mumsy already, and she was posting it on her blog uh, in honor of these gorgeous peonies that she talks about on it. So going all the way around, and again, just in those little crevices, putting a nice C-shaped curve line in them, and really all that we're doing is we're going to then continue to fill in. So here, I'm like, oh, that looks nice enough. So I'm gonna, come up a little bit, so it's almost like we're doing another layer. Oops. And if you have too big of a space, you could, well, let's do it right here. You could do like that, and then just come up with another one like that, and then and have it, land wherever you want it to land, because then we're doing like halabau. And if you're not familiar with the halabau technique, that's the art of drawing behind. That's what I call it. And so it's as if this petal, you know, is coming here. So if you think of a peony, or you think of a mum, and it has these layers, or like a zinnia, and it has these layers of petals that are kind of close together, and that's essentially what we are replicating here. So going all the way around, and then continuing to go all the way around. Like, see here, I have a nice big gap. So I'm gonna do like this, and again, and they don't have to meet. Actually, this one I'm gonna have it come right down there. And then as you're working your way around, you can, if you want, depends on your inspiration, you can have it kind of even out as you work your way around, and just play with it, and maybe take a a break every so often, and just take a look. I haven't gone all the way around. That's why this side is lopsided. And just fill it in however you wish. Well, let's put. I skipped it because I thought, oh, I need to put one there. And we can have a little one peeking out here. Whoops. As I hit the microphone with my pen. I hope that it didn't make a big loud noise. Oh, and let's see. And then this could maybe go here. And then sometimes it's the deciding when to stop. And I better, because I'll be here all week filling it in. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, that looks cute. All right, we're gonna leave it at that, because then once you feel like you're done, then the next steps are putting in some decorations inside. And I love what Sandy did here. Well, first off, and like I said early on, she did this, and this is aura-ing, and we're just kind of redoing. We're outlining, but it's on the inside. And if you have room, I have just a little bit of room here. I'm gonna there. Just continue the aura however you wish it to be. And yeah. All right. Then, which way do I want to draw these? I think this way. So on all these petals, we're gonna put, say, 2 or 3 auras, whatever you can fit. And what I found, like, in order to do them, is I'm gonna do an aura of the outside. I'm going from the outside in, and just seeing what I will fit. I personally find, okay, that's easier than starting small and going up big, for whatever reason. And I'm just gonna work in this area versus going all the way around. I'm gonna work my way around. See, and you might find it easier to go from the inside out. It's completely up to you. There are no right, no rights, no wrongs. It's whatever works best for you. And then on these ones, like this, where where this ends, just picture, oh, it's coming down here, so that way as you get the curve will be. It's not like, oh, it just ends here. It's like, no, the curve would go and it would continue down, or continue down and around. Mine is kind of a little. That was a little weird, but that's okay. There are weird things in nature. oops, and let's not, this one looks like an ear. But what's so neat is doing this aura ink. It's simple, it's as neat as the line dot dot, which is my favorite thing in the world. If you've not heard me talk about it, I just love it. I should do an article on it or something. And what it does is it's such a simple stroke, but it finishes off what you're doing so nicely. And it's kind of like this, it's like you can think, oh, I don't know if I like it. And then as you start filling it in, it starts taking on a different shape. And then when we add some shading, oh my goodness. That's where the magic happens. And for this, I say go slow. As I see little things leaning, coming over other stuff, I'm like, okay, that just means slow down. What? A lot of times I like to just watch the tip of the pen as it's doing its thing, and I'm watching it on on the paper, and almost disassociating myself. It's like, no, I'm not controlling it. No, if you ever watched like a show and they're showing a close up of something, kind of like maybe like a how it's made type of show, and you see, I don't know. That's what's in my head when I do this. Sometimes it's just like, oh, it's just look at the pen just making those marks. Oh, it's amazing. I'm weird, I know. I'm good. And I'm good with that. If you're just shaking your head like, oh, I think I've heard everything now. Well, there you go. You have. All right. And it amazes me. Just amazes me. And of course, you could play with, how. Well, I'm working on a 2-inch by 2-inch square here. If you're working on something bigger, you could play with how big all of it is. That's what's the. That's another item of funness with Zentangle. All right, so there we have it, and let's find a pencil. Okay. So the fun part of shading, and for sure here, I'm going to start in these little crevices. I'm probably going to go all the way around, but I'm going to start in the crevices. And starting from that beginning squiggle shape that we did. Oh, we got some there. And let's just bring it out. And, yep. Probably end up going all the way around because it makes sense. But, although, the nice thing is you can always go back. Here's where I'm going to focus. Crevices. That's going to be the word today. Today's Tangle is brought to you by the word crevice. And see just where that dips in like that. And maybe if I don't have, oh no, here's one right here. And you know what? Here's one right here. There's a bunch of ways that this could be done. You could just, and it's probably, I'm probably making this more complicated than it needs to be. Oh, let's go up here. Because you could go just all the way around each petal. But doing this, it puts a little bit more of an emphasis, and I should have just done all of those crevices and then come back with the torchon, but I couldn't wait because I was so excited. Shading is the magic. You can see here, I missed some here. And so the neat thing about this part is we're adding or developing layers. And so like even here, and then you can go back. So like here, it's like, well, this tucks under this. So let's put some graphite there. This is one of the places that I missed. But like I said, there's always a bunch of different ways that you can tackle the concept of shading. And there's a sort of crevice right here. And I just came up with this just now as I was doing it. So I'm like, well, let's try that. And see right here. Oops, while I'm at it. When I see another place. Look at it. Oh, look at that. Looking at in the camera. And then as you look at it, you might be like, you know what? There needs to be something here, because this is definitely tucked behind this, but we're not seeing it because things aren't all close together, and hence probably why not a bad idea to just go all the way around that. Oh, how neat! And then look at it, hold it out, arm's length, and look at it in a camera. And like this, I say, if you have a big space here, that's, feel, there's not really rules, at least in Zentangle. There's concepts, but not like, oh well, you have to do this here, you have to do that there. Nope. You get to try things and explore things. I like it. How fun is that? And I'm just gonna peek. Oh no, Sandy just has a couple really neat samples on her blog. Really really neat though. I'm partly thinking, oh, I probably could have done that center smaller, but you know what? I like it. It's all good. I can always try it again and do something a little different. Just super cute. Now, of course, what I wanted to see was, oh, did she go and maybe decorate in between, the lines or anything? And that's, of course, up to you. Sometimes I think it's neat just to have something like this, just the simple lines, and then, and the shading, which shows it off. So completely up to you how you have fun with this. And I certainly hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click the like button. Feel free to share it and leave comments. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. In the description section, you will find, and if you need to find that, it's usually below the title of the video. Sometimes it depends on what you're looking at this with. Some devices, you might just see a little down arrow that looks like a little V. But it seems like it's somewhere in the title. And like I said, and it just depends. And I've had the question every once in a while. So every once in a while, I try to remember to state where you find that. Or sometimes it gives you like the first line, and then where you click see more or read on or read more or whatever. So that's where that is. So there you will find links to the step outs, as well as ways to connect with me if you wish. I mentioned at the beginning our absolutely amazing Facebook community of Tangle Addicts. So if you'd like to hang out with us, we'd love to have you. So that link is at the very bottom of or almost to the bottom of the description section, as well as link to my Facebook page. So if you want to follow me there, if you want to look at my website, and maybe you want to participate in some of the classes that I do. A lot of them are free. I do have some that are paid, and all of that is listed there. And so with that, again, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.